This is the South Sydney Show on Bunnies TV, live and free across Australia and around the globe. Welcome. Our season ended against the Chooks on Friday night. We're going to do a quick season review and look at the selected New South Wales Cup team to take on the Bears this Saturday, 5 p.m. at Leichhardt Oval. We are brought to you by Darryl Lee. Take me home, Rockley Road. And I'm already joined by Karina Haase. Hello, Karina. All the way from Germany. Around the globe, I did say it. The Rooster disaster ended our season. Sydney Roosters. It didn't help that we lost Taffy early with a head knock. I hope you're okay, mate, if you're watching this. And good luck at the doggies. I was on the field with the old boys before the game. And thank you to the South Players Association, led by Steve McDermott, Sean Garlick, Michael Andrews. They do a fantastic job. And we had some new faces there. I saw Kirisomi Alval from the grand final team, and Jimmy Smith was there, and some real new faces. So I believe Jason Clark had a bit to do with that. So good on you, Clarkie, for chasing up more people for our former players' stuff. And it was very enjoyable. Thank you to everyone who applauded as we went round the field, stood up. And we got to the Burrow. Special thanks to Leonie Kelly for running down the front and yelling out Steve with the pom-poms. And everyone's looking, going, you got a fan there? She is. She's a gem, Leonie. Also thanks to Michelle Cheney for your support from the Burrow. And everyone else in the Burrow, all our friends and all the supporters watching this, thank you. Now, Karina said our season is over, but the young players have a chance to get the title. So, yeah. Well, they're not the young fellas. They are the reserve grade, we call them, the Reggies. But, yes, they have got a huge chance. And I'm going to look at that team in a minute. It's stacked with quality talent. So have a look for that. Our season, the team won 12 and lost 12. So it wasn't all bad, especially early on in the year. We got a lot of joy out of this team from the victories. Mick Sees joined us. Hello, mate, and said, hi, Mavo. Good to see you. Sad end to the season. This team underachieved. Well, you can say that again. Underachieved, all right. But we did achieve 12 wins and 12 losses with a points differential of plus 59, which was better than a lot of teams around us. Better than two of the teams in the top 8, points differential-wise. We saw 3 debutantes, Benny Lovett, Tallis Duncan, and Tyrone Munro, who are all favourites on Bunnies TV. Our New South Wales Cup team is right in the mix in the New South Wales Cup. Knock-on effect, New South Wales Cup. All this finger-pointing by fans is not productive at the first grade. Please consider the mental health of all these players, coaches and officials before you go typing some of these vile statements about them. I know people are upset and angry, but this jumping up and down and blaming people is not going to fix the problem. Constructive criticism, yes. We do need to find some solutions, but just bagging people, not a big fan. David Gardner, hi Mavo, says, how do we... It just jumped off the screen. I've got it here. Oh, no, he retracted it. Might have been an error. Anyway, we'll move on. So, this off-season, the club needs to pop the hood and have a good look under the bonnet and do what is necessary to make sure this team is playing finals footy again. Now, you've probably heard all the rumours. Latrell's going to get moved to centre. Jack Whiten to fullback. I even read that JD and Sam Burgess, they're trying to organise a swap. So JD goes and coaches Warrington. We get Sam Burgess back this year. And And Trev Gillis said, too many sooks playing. Okay, well, yeah, that's you. I know people are want, but it's just, all I'm saying is just be wary of people that are going to be reading the stuff you say about them. And who's going to play 7? I know there's a back and forward between Braithen Nasta and Tugger, and I know there's a whole lot of people that want to see a change there, but we've got to trust that the club's going to find the solutions. We have to, because all eyes now move to round 1, Manly in Vegas. What do they do? How do they bounce back? Who comes in? What's the top 30 going to look like? Are they going to sign any other players? We don't know. But what I will do is have a few shows in the off-season to keep an eye on how all that's going. And David Gardner has retyped his message, and he said, hey, Mavo, how do we go from top of the table in round 11 to the not making the 8? Well, we set a record in doing that, David, all the way from New Zealand, I think. What's your opinion, mate, about where Jack should play next year? Well, he won a World Cup in the centres, didn't he? So maybe him and Trell Mitt left and right centre. I don't know. He can play in the halves. He can play fullback. So he's a valuable player. He's a star player, and he's going to fit into this club rather nicely. But, yeah, look, if I had to say at the moment, I'd say centre, but maybe move Isaiah Tass to the wing. But, we've got blokes like Tyrone Munro, Isaac Thompson that can play in the wing. So hopefully we've got plenty of star players to play in plenty of positions, and we'll just have to see what happens next year in 2024. Thanks to everyone who's joined us. I appreciate you live chatting and getting involved in the show. Now, before we have a look at the New South Wales Cup, we will just show you. I've got some new ads here, and I've got a bloke called Oscar who bought one of our hoodies. Young fella, there he is over at his house, and on the back there, so $50. I delivered it to his door, and he was pretty happy with that, young Oscar. So thanks again, mate. Now, you can buy these via a link in the description of this video. We're just in the process of fixing up the website, but any problems, send me an email. We will sort you out. I have got a new Instagram, Bunnies TV AU. Can you please give me a follow there? Thank you very much. You heard me mention Darrell Lee early on. Well, there's the old Darrell Lee store in the city. No more of those exist anymore. But they have got a link to this great city of ours since 1927. They used to be under the Harbour Bridge, one of their factories. So we're also brought to you by Blast Pit Fitness and Empowerment. Are you ready to get blasted out there at Little Bay, right next to Sight Pizza, Little Bay? Mentioning Sight Pizza, there's the boss there, Glenn, and one of his delicious pasta meals. So, yes, the food out at Little Bay is beautiful, but the food at Mareeba is equally delicious cuisine. So, not just pizza, pasta, lovely food there, and we're giving away $100 worth of that food every week here on Bunnies TV. The juniors, Kingsford, and there you are. You can see the light rail out the front, city in the background. I took that photo the other day with our drone, which we got from George's Cameras. See that, how seamless it was? And that's a A7 RV that they're selling in there in George Street in the city. We're also supported by Dot Build Constructions. Everyone needs a builder at some stage. Go to dotbuild.com.au, ask for Corey Dotty, and he'll look after you. And tell him Bunnies TV sent you. You can also go into NG Farah there at Kingsford. Tell them Bunnies TV sent you. Ask for Glenn Farah, Stephanie Farah. They are the best real estate in the business. And last but not least, Barnaby Water. Water with a purpose. Supporting the Gujaga Foundation. And I've got Ron Moore, channel member, has joined us, and he said, very unhappy with the biggest collapse ever. 2020, and Liam Waddell said 2024, the year of the rabbit. Well, it was this year, and it didn't work out too good, did it? But, yeah, look, why did we drop our bundle from round 11? Well, losing Latrell didn't help for, 12 weeks. Our star player at the back there, that didn't help. And then we had other injuries, like Jai Arrow and Junior Totola. Blokes were going down, and we just never seemed to recover from that. They were flat during that middle part. I think the big road trip was a no from me in the end. All the travelling to WA, Cairns, and It just didn't really help the boys. They were unsettled. They were all over the place. So, but that was in part because of the World Cup. So not a whole lot we can do about that. Okay, so I was at the New South Wales Cup win at North Sydney Oval with my occasional co-commentators Milo and Dallas. It was a good 26-12 win over the Warriors. I shot plenty of content on the day, a few viral vids, and I'll be there on Saturday. Arvo, let's have a look at this. This is courtesy of Tony Day from the Borough. Saturday Arvo, 5 p.m. at Leichhardt Oval, when they take on the minor Premier Bears. Now, I saw JT at North Sydney Oval checking out the opposition the other day, so we was checking out these boys here, this team. And it's Sir Boy said, yeah, Oscar here. Oh, there you go. Hello, Oscar. Oh, that's you there. It's Sir Boy's VX. Welcome, mate. So let me just go through the team. Jacob Gagai had a good game at the back last week. Tom Carr has been playing well on the wing. Now, Isaac Tuatupo Thompson's a big in the centres with Josiah Karapani. Tyrone Munro keeps his spot on the wing. In the halves, Neon Dion Tiapa and Footy Dean Hawkinson. Congrats to Dean Hawkins for winning the New South Wales Cup Player of the Year. Thank you very much. His kicking goals are great. He's setting up play. Shaquay Mitchell in the front row, and I've thought I'd turn that off, but I didn't. Shaquay Mitchell and Brock Gray starting up front. Now, Brock Gray scored a great try right in front of the Bunnies TV cameras last week. He's going well. Pete Mamazelis, another star hooker. Now, this back three, Ben Lovett, Ethan O'Neill and Tallis Duncan, who comes back from first grade. So that side is a strong side. Look out, the Bears. We're coming. On the bench, Shannon Gardner, Yillian Gordon, Matt French, who also scored a great try right in front of me at North Sydney Oval. Rampaging Jackson Rame is number 22, and you've got Tristan Alvarado and Leonard Skelton there. Joe O'Callaghan is the coach. And New South Wales Cup are training at the Heffron Centre now, because obviously the first grade aren't using it. And so they're going to train Wednesday and Friday. There'll be a captain's run there in the evening. If anyone's keen to go and have a look at the boys, I'm going to go down there and try and have a chat to a few of the lads. I'm not sure why it doesn't look like the New South Wales Rugby League TV are going to stream these games. A few people are asking me, but we don't usually really do the away games, so I'm going to say no for that. We just do the home games at Redfern, which suits us. Trevor Gillis said the Broncos played away games at home while we played 2 home games in the last 5 away. Yeah, so it didn't. And I think a couple of those we probably could have went for the easier options, and we didn't do it. So Liam Waddell said, who do you think will be our bench utility next year? Well, good question. It's not going to be Blake Taff. And I don't know if you always need to carry a bench utility. If we've got 4 powerful forwards coming off the bench, I'm happy with that. As long as there's one that's maybe a bit versatile, like, we're not going to have Jed Cartwright either. So I don't know. But you look at Cheekami, when we had lost Taffy, then he went in and played centre, scored a try. But, yeah, that didn't help us losing Taffy because everyone was sort of playing out of position. AJ had to go to the back. Cheeks is in the centres. We're a man down in the rotation. But having said all that, the Chooks were too good on the night. You can probably all agree on that. We weren't at the same level of intensity that they were, and they just out-enthused us. Their defence was all over us. They gave Cody no room whatsoever, rushing up in the line, and we had no answer for it. So go the Sharks this week in the elimination final. That's all I can say. But you know what? The way the Chooks are playing, the Sharks we need to be on their game to beat them. Brad Oskin has joined us. Hello, mate, Hocko. There's a lot of excuses when you haven't had a good enough go. 24 is looking good. Love your work, Mavo. There you go. Well, look, yeah, the boys did. I think they were having a go, but it's a tough comp, this NRL competition. And then there was just all these stories coming out about what was going wrong. I don't know, but in the end, it just wasn't good enough. They weren't playing good enough footy that they were in the first half of the year, in the second half of the year. And I don't know what the answer is. Trev Gillis said, Pete's our next hooker. Apparently, they never gets a run on when Cook's out. Well, yeah, I think he does. When Cookie was playing Origin and that, he was getting there. So Pete's a fantastic footballer, Pete Mamazelis. And, yeah, that's a tough situation. There's a lot of them like that are behind different players in the team. And Pete's one of them behind Damien Cook, who isn't getting any younger. So, but he's still playing pretty good footy, Cookie. And Ron Moore, channel member, said, yep, go the Sharks. Okay, so you can become a member of this channel. You get that little icon next to your name, and we keep in touch, all the members. There's a link in the description of this video, as there is a link to all our sponsors, all the valuable sponsors here on Bunnies TV. I want to thank for supporting the show this year. Thank you to all of you guys out there. Bunnies TV will continue to create a variety of content in the off season. So I'm going to be continuing on a few shows in the off season, creating stuff, whether it's at footy or with the drone or whatever. And then I'll be back for the 2024 season and beyond. Trev Gillis said the Warriors. So, yeah, I had a little look at the top 8. There's some great games this weekend, even though we're not in them. I mean, Warriors versus Penrith. Everyone's going to be cheering the Warriors. I hope they can do it. I saw a interview on NRL or after NRL 360 with the coach, and geez, sounds like he's a good bloke, and he's smart. He's done wonders with that team, and he was speaking so much sense. Andrew Webster, I think it is. He was at Penrith, and he's been a bit of a journeyman, but he's got that team firing. And we've all been waiting for the Warriors with the whole country behind them and all these talented players to get it done. And geez, it'd be nice to see them knock off the Panthers. I can't see them doing it. I haven't said that. But the other big game is the Broncos and Melbourne. So people will be going for Reno and hoping he'll win. They're a good side too. Reece Walsh, what a player. But the Storm were impressive the other day. That kid that made his debut off the bench, number 14. Geez, he's awesome in full flight, and Pappenhausen's back, so the Storm are going to be a real big show. But realistically, you think it's going to be Penrith, Broncos, or the Storm. No one from outside the top 8 that I can see. Maybe the Knights. The Knights is going to be big too. What have they won? A heap of games in a row, getting Ponga back, and they've got the momentum. So if anyone's going to win it from outside the top 8 this year, it could be them. Peter Bennett's joined us and said, hi, Mav, our forwards look tired, perhaps worn out in the last quarter of the season. Panthers just look fitter. Best of luck next season. Thank you, mate. Yeah. Karina said, thanks for all the work and the love heart. I love that little love heart. Thank you. Back to you. Right back at you, Karina. And Liam Waddell said, where do you see Jack Whiten and Latrell Mitchell playing next year? What positions in our best 17? Well, I can't go for all that because it's so hard to say, but look, people want to put Cody at 7, Jack Whiten at half, Latrell in the centres, but then who plays fullback? And then where do you do with Lockie? So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. The World Cup winning centres were Latrell Mitchell and Jack Whiten. So, and Katrina said she hopes to see Trell at centre. Well, there's talk about it, and Maroon was scathing of. I saw the thing Maroon said, and I think it was a little bit harsh, but he's not happy. A lot of people aren't happy, but the thing is, the sun shines the next day. The Rabbitohs will be back winning games. We've still got plenty of talent in the ranks. A little bit more positive than some about the chances of this team. Richard Enriquez says the reserve grade is a big chance. Yes, they are. With that side, look, let's have a look at that before I let you go. So on the New South Wales Rugby League website, it still doesn't say New South Wales Rugby League TV. So I'm not sure why. A bit tongue-tied there again. I'm not sure why they wouldn't be doing that because there's only those 2 games in their big competition, but maybe they're going to do it and they haven't put it up yet. But a bit strange that they're not because a lot of people want to watch that, including me. Well, I'll be there anyway. But it's a bit strange time too, 5 o'clock in the Arvo on a Saturday. But anyway, Super Saturday. So the North Sydney side, it's much the same they've had most of the year, but there's not a lot of big names in there. There's not a lot of first grade. There's the Marsky twins, Ben Stevanovic, the half. They've got some good players there. Zach Docker-Clay, I think he's played a bit of first grade. But looking through them, it's not stacked with first grade talent, but they did finish first in the New South Wales Cup, so they are a good side and they're going to be hard to beat. Whereas we've got, 4 or 5 players that have played first grade, so that's going to be a big clash. But if they win that, I think they get a week off and they other teams will fight it out the week after that. And then the grand finals at Combank Stadium, I believe. Yeah. So, yeah, Trev Gillis said Cody made a few mistakes, but Lockie was getting the blame. Well, they both played great footy this year, both of them at different times. But a lot of times when it mattered, we didn't get the job done. Now, I did make mention of the Roosters' defence just rushing up and giving Cody no space and forcing a few errors. But we've got to do that to them. And Liam Waddell said, what happens to Isaiah Tass? Well, he's going to be there. I just don't know where he's going to play. And he said, Alex Johnson, long-term fullback. Well, I'm not sure on that, mate. He played fullback the other night, and it wasn't as if he was dominating the opposition. He's one of the greatest left wingers of all time, so I don't think you're going to need to move him back to any other position, because on the left, he's just puts himself in position to score 1,000 tries. He's going to be the greatest try scorer of all time. So, and Trev said, get a bit deeper now. No, plenty of people have had D&Ms about this team, but I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be delving into that. All I can say is we can hope for better in 2024. Thanks for everyone for their support. Like I said again, and I'll let you go there. The show's not over, because until this New South Wales Cup team wins the grand final in a couple of weeks, we'll keep reporting on the team, keep reporting on the club, and chatting to you live and free on Bunnies TV. Thanks again. See you later.